things.
Real
and
problems.
that's not real.
That's real.
Okay.
That's real.
We're going to get going here. 50 and sunny at Loon.
This is real.
Over the man, I blew it. I went home too early. Okay, go, Chris. Start this thing.
Oh, well, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Monday M.A.S.S, the world's greatest action sports podcast. Also, an action sports podcast about nothing. Also, it's recorded on Tuesday.
I was spent yesterday.
Todd was a little
I
tired
didn't want to do it
yesterday,
yesterday.
which we'll get into. But today is March 28th, 2023. And as always, the Monday M.A.S.S is brought to you by our friends at RationAle. At RationAle.
I mean, we're just going to jump into the ad block.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I got to tell you.
It's a serious business
Can I tell you
show.
this funny thing? So
Yeah.
we're at this Homesick event, which I'll get into in snowboard news. I'm there, and like people are just yelling out ad block
They are?
off the side. There's a lot of Monday M.A.S.S fans.
A lot of ad block fans.
That out there. There were people that were fans of the ad block. Someone was yelling ad block as I'm hiking up the pipe.
So that to me tells me that
They hate it.
The faster you rush through the ad block, the less you're giving to fans of the ad block. Therefore, the ad block deserves more time and more energy.
I don't think anyone really
You
likes
think
the
that's
ad block.
backwards? They
can't
tune
tell.
in for the ad block. A lot of people tune out when we start talking about actual action sports.
Not according to these numbers.
Those numbers. That's your phone number.
My phone numbers. This is reality, dude.
At RationAle
This is the
Brewing.
reality. Okay, here we go. Go ahead.
At RationAle Brewing.
Is that
the world's best non-alcoholic beer? It's going to be the hottest thing this summer to just go
I will
NA.
do slogans for all of these brands. Okay,
Hanson
so
Surfboards.
RationAle Brewing. It's just like partying, except you don't sleep in the bushes at night.
Great. Hanson Surfboards.
Now you do the serious part, and I'll do the tagline.
Hanson Surfboards has been our shop sponsor for a long time. We're so happy to have him. One of the OG shops right here in Encinitas. Don Hanson, an absolute icon and legend. You go in there, you can get everything from sweatshirts to sandals to surf trunks to bikinis to towels. Anything you want, Hanson Surfboards has it.
Hanson Surfboards. If you try to steal stuff from them, Lucas will tackle you.
Beneath Apparel, BN3TH Apparel on the gram. We're talking the world's best underwear. And recently I got a pair of kind of like running shorts with a mesh inside underwear with the pocket.
Ooh, that's called the internet.
The best shorts I've ever had. And I'm running hills now and I'm wearing them.
Beneath Apparel. It's like an angel cupping your balls.
Bubs Naturals, collagen, MCT brain oil. Keep yourself looking young and feeling fresh. Keep your bones, joints, hair, skin, teeth, nails strong with Bubs Naturals.
Chris is not only a boner, he has strong bones.
Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce on the gram at Try Bachan's. We appreciate all of our fans who have posted photos of them trying Bachan's. That's something.
It is something. And I mean, it just goes to show that Bachan's is the ultimate sauce for your life.
That's right. Panic and Coffee and Tea, as you know, Todd and I are obviously really freaking fired up on Panic and Coffee and Tea right now.
I am. I'm jacked.
I'm jacked. New Greens at New Greens. Simple.
Devin,
effective.
Devin sent me over this whole new he's like, can you please read off of like the
oh my god
the thing that like
and you didn't
the blurb, the verbiage.
This is why people don't sponsor our show.
Anyways,
Todd,
New Greens reformulated, retooled.
That sounds like it.
Relaunching this spring for the summer. New Greens.
Salads for your body.
It's just like all the fun of a salad, but you can drink it.
Yeah, they love that phrase. diecutstickers.com at diecutstickers.com, all spelled out on the gram. We've actually had some friends and fans actually making stickers on diecutstickers.com, and we appreciate them for that.
That's actually awesome.
I got gifts for us.
You do?
I want to thank the people at Slow Tide. What's up?
Let me see that.
What do we got? This
Can I
is
check
the Arto Sari beach towel.
Just when you thought that beach towels couldn't be
No.
more fun.
These are the best beach towels
Look
out.
at this. Look at this little snap. Look
Look,
at
you got a
the
snap.
packaging.
This is we're looking at some photos that our friend Arto Sari, legendary skateboarder, amazing
Strictly
photographer,
from
took.
the financial
Look.
standpoint, I think this
Look.
says excellence.
That's an Arto shot right there. Todd going over the falls at YMA.
Does Arto still live in Hawaii?
Yeah, dude.
That's
He's
so
shooting
cool.
photos, getting them on towels. This one's especially very cool.
Wow.
You know I'm not a huge flag waver, but I'll wave this flag.
Wu-Tang flag?
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing that can't.
Cash
nothing to fuck
rules
with right
everything around me.
So we got a bunch of towels. And
Thank you.
blankets and-
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ponchos, changing ponchos. Spring break is set.
Spring break,
now.
It is here.
Thank you, Slow Tide.
This
Slow Tide, you rule.
This is like the first 4 days in California in like a month where it's been sunny 4 days in a row. Oh, and guess what? It's supposed to snow and rain again tomorrow.
Excuse me?
It's supposed to snow and rain again tomorrow.
Is that good?
Are you okay with that? Okay.
Yeah.
Are we done with this ad block? So we can
Almost.
just start talking about stuff.
Chris Coté solo playing Soma April 1st. This is not an April Fool's joke. Oh, I'm sorry. Just practiced a fluff song last night, but Todd doesn't like it, so
I love it.
you don't care, do you? About music?
I
and,
like music.
playing music and like going out and playing it.
I don't know how to do that. I would.
Okay, well, don't snore during my announcement. It's gonna be fun.
Okay.
It's at Soma. All
When
age
is that?
rager.
One more time?
April 1st.
April 1st. April Fool's
All
Day.
age rager.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There will be tricks.
Okay.
Also, next week I can't do the show.
What are we talking
I'm
about?
going to Casa La Barra Surf Resort in Nicaragua.
You are?
Yeah.
On a vacation?
April 3rd.
On a vacation?
Yeah.
You are?
Surf trip.
Is this the same one you did last year?
No.
Kind of?
No. This is a new spot.
Very cool. Who are you
I
going
want
with?
to check it out. I'm
Cool.
going with my friend Jesse, homie Liam, who's actually one of the people that runs it, or that is part of this camp.
Wow.
It's like a hotel. So I'm going to come back with a lot of information. Hopefully,
Good. Well, I
tan.
can't do the podcast either because I'm going to be in Tahoe.
Well, fine.
Okay. So whatever.
Spring break.
Surf News is being brought to you by Hanson's. What are you doing, dude?
Getting my phone for questions.
Okay. Surf News is brought to you by Hanson's Surfboards. So, about a month and a half ago, some people, as in myself and Chris, were introduced to Patti Zhou.
Yes.
And Patti Zhou is this phenomenon of snowboarding. I think she's 11. She's 11, right? She's 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's the future of women's half-pipe snowboarding, and we were all blown away by
And
Patti.
slope style.
It was the Patti party. This weekend, Patti dropped a clip of her surfing when she was 10 years old at the Waco wave pool.
It's mind
And it's
blowing.
mind-blowing, and no one even knew that she surfed.
You know, when we were at Dew Tour and the Patti party was starting, I had a couple people that knew that I was a surfer, and kind of just like I heard it a couple times. Like, have you seen her surf? A couple of messages. Have you seen
Mhm.
her surf? And I had not. And I think I just maybe forgot to look or something. But
10 years old,
doing 10-foot airs.
doing huge airs, reverses, like really solid, powerful turns. Like, what the heck is up with kids these days? Seriously, they don't know any better than to become phenomenally good
I think
at a very young age.
Patti is she's hands down the best 10-year-old I've ever seen in a wave pool.
Do you think she cares? You know, I know
It's
that
just having a lot
we
of
all
fun.
know your opinion on skating, surfing, and snowboarding. Babies. At what point are you not a baby anymore?
Double digits.
Okay, so if she was 9 and ripping in
You
that
hate
pool,
it.
you were just over
I'd
her.
hate it.
But once
Nah.
you become double dig, it's game on. But anyway,
once you can talk and once you can say, "Hey, mom, can we go skate?" or "Hey, dad, can we go snowboard?" then
Then it's
you're-
okay?
Then it's okay.
All right.
But until then,
you're done with that.
I'm not into it.
All right. What else do we have going on here in surf news?
Oh, a giant wall of water is heading this way in the form of HBO's 100-Foot Wave Season 2. This is an Emmy-winning surf series
I thought
directed
it
by
was
Chris
awesome.
Smith.
The
It's
f-
so
the
good.
First season was really good. And they do a really good job with the dramatic music
Yeah.
and
It's
pushing it forward like that. I think it's pretty sick.
HBO, no longer human body odor, actual home box office, which is actually funny, Todd. Remember, we'll save that for nerd news, but I got some thoughts on movie theaters.
Okay.
What else we got? Yeah, so we're looking at April 16th, the first episode of season 2. So different type of dragons, Todd, but dragons that you can get into in the form of giant aquatic anomalies. 100-foot wave. Monday M.A.S.S recommended. Owen Wright, one of the best goofy footers to ever do it, announced his retirement from competitive surfing, which is funny because 2 days after he announced his retirement, he got a wild card into Bells.
Yeah, so okay.
So it's like, I'm retiring. Well, I'm going to do that.
Right.
Which Owen Wright can do whatever you want in my eyes.
But
I think
he's
amazing.
retiring from competitive surfing, which
Right.
doesn't mean that Owen Wright won't continue to put out
Oh, yeah.
crazy clips and that sort of thing. You know, honestly, and I know your standpoint on this because you don't want to pinch the moneymaker where it spits. But you know, it's
What does that mean?
because I think the WSL is boring as hell. I think it's really boring. I personally, and I've spoken to other people, mainly one person in a car for about 3 hours the other day when we were driving.
Wasn't me.
And we were just kind of talking about how it's like becoming like boring. And I don't know if it's maybe that has something to do with maybe some of these people, you know, they don't want to deal with this super cut down to the top 5 or the mid-year cuts too harsh, and it's just kind of, I feel like it's weeding out the people that the fans want to see.
Is it the rules and regulations?
I think so.
And
I think
ranking
some of that.
system?
Yeah.
Is it the surfing?
No, it's not the surfing. It's the rules and the regulation systems. I can understand why it's being done because they want to make it more like a kind of a TV product or like a product that they can sell with like a championship, right? Like, here's this championship. It's top 5 people. One of these people is going to go home a world champion at the end of today. Rah! It's like, okay, you know, cue the music and fireworks. But like, the reason that I think, I mean, for myself, I loved the when it was the CT and you were constantly, you know, it wasn't really, it was more about the grind and the placement, and anyone could, you know, if they were keep going with their points, and someone could win before the whole season was over, and you're like paying attention to that, and this person could bump that person out, and then they have to go on to the next one. It's just like, I don't know. I guess like progress is progress. You don't learn any lessons without stumbling. So, but I do think that people are becoming bored, and some of the athletes may be becoming bored and not really finding it to be, you know, as financially motivating as they used to. That's just my take on things. And I saw it in snowboarding, in competitive snowboarding, where people just started to get bored, and they were like, I can go and do my own thing, and it's not really gonna, then I'm not tied to some like rating system.
Yeah. I personally think that the new rookies and the surfers currently in the top 20 are exciting, super fun to watch. To me, the mid-year cut does serve as kind of a playoff thing, so it's something exciting in the middle of the year that people have to fight for. And, you know, the argument for not making the mid-year cut is do better, surf better. The one unfortunate thing, and in 2023 so far, the best waves they got basically one day in Portugal. Other than that, it's been rough, kind of a struggle for waves. So when the waves are great, I think the product is awesome. I'm kind of liking the mid-year cut.
That just kind of goes without saying, though. Like, if the waves are good,
Yeah.
you're going to get great product. It's like,
But I don't think you want to see the same people on tour for 20 years. I think having fresh blood and, like, you know, people retiring, people respecting the sport in that way. You know, like, I don't think Owen, quote, fell off, but I think that he got to a point in his career where he was like, all right, I've done it.
And he was also dealing with the ripple effect of the
injury.
TBI, and like, look, I'm just saying, I don't want it to get boring, and I don't want it to get to a point where it's being driven in a direction where maybe some of the people are thinking that we're going to turn this into like a basketball playoff type thing, like you said, because it's not that. Like, that is not it, and that's, you know,
Why not though?
why? Because it's surfing and it's not
But why
basketball.
do you want to see low-ranked
You don't.
surfers with nothing to go for?
Okay, so here's here's my thing is like, I love, and I think a lot of people love rooting for underdogs, right? And and within snowboarding, skating kind of is going this way too. There's not a lot of contests anymore where you can have a virtual unknown, or someone that's kind of low in the ranking come up and kick ass, and maybe wild cards, right? But sort of, because the wild cards always seem to be just like the pros that were already on the CT that just happened, or the championship tour that are kind of just not there.
The last group of wild cards for Portugal and now for Bells are random local heroes.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know. I'm just saying. I pine for
the Dream Tour,
kind of the Dream Tour.
90s.
Yeah, and I think, it was dreamy, and they went to a lot of dreamy spots, and. Look, we can argue about where the spots are all day long, but at any rate,
spot check.
That was my rant. I wasn't even half as mad as I probably should have been.
Well,
I think the world champion should be crowned
at the end of the season
at a wave of consequence.
Okay, not lowers.
Yeah,
and I
think lowers fits in the puzzle.
I take offense when you say that my opinion is based on working for the WSL. It's absolutely not. I'll say whatever. Okay. No, Todd's right.
Same way that I get it.
No, it's just offensive to say that. That's like me saying,
are you offended?
Well, you're an ex-pro snowboarder, so you don't know about this.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
What?
My opinion on the WSL is my opinion. It's not as somebody who works for the WSL, because I only work for them for 1 or 2 events a year.
I think that they should use you more, and I think that they should let you say what you want.
Who's there? I can say whatever I want. That's the part of that's what's offensive. And now I'm offended.
Wow.
Who at the WSL is telling me what to say?
Them.
Who?
Those guys.
See, you don't know.
The people.
You don't know.
I do.
Nobody has ever said you cannot disparage the WSL.
Okay, disparage the WSL right now.
In what way? In what way? I gave you my counterpoint as to what I thought.
All right.
I think the playoff system is great. I think the Rip Curl WSL finals format is it perfect? No. Is it exciting? Is it an amazing day of surfing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I like it better when it ended at pipe? Yes.
Okay.
But to me, that's formulaic if you just do the same thing every year over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a fan of the format now, the system now.
But is it formulaic now?
It's getting formulaic now because they've gone to the same places over and over.
How do you mix it up then?
So I think you mix it up with where you go. That to me, that's the most important part. I think the surfers are going to go change in and out. You're going to have, rookies, wild cards, all that. That's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think the coverage is amazing when the contest is on. It's like, it's cool to watch.
You know what I think is really exciting?
What?
Is when the surfers have to compete in like an Olympic year where they have to go to like the event in El Salvador.
Right.
I think that's exciting because you're seeing the super pros go up against the next crop of talent.
The ISA events are super fun.
I think that's really cool.
Attention.
Right. Because you don't see that very much, and like that kind of comes back to like the whole like a true open, where you're actually getting to put the local talent from any given region up against the people that are on the tour.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what I'm getting at is like I'd love to see more of that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that the tiers that you have right now, the TIERSs they're working to me.
Cry is free. Chris.
Cry is always free. And we've
for a little bit. I saw a Cry is free bumper sticker on somebody's car
in the wild.
In the wild, dude.
I was thinking of calling my new band Cry is Free.
That's kind of a good name.
What do you think? Like, honestly, think about it. If you didn't know me, even if you didn't know what Cry is Free really in the subculture of Monday M.A.S.S.
Well, would people think it's like a samba band?
Maybe would people think it's too like emo?
Cry is Free?
Cry is Free.
What was the name of that one emo band? Taking Back Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, is that the
But
quintessential
is
emo
Cry is
band?
Free more like? There's a band out now that I really like that called Surf Rock is Dead,
Okay.
and they're super cool, amazing music. And I saw that name, I'm like, my first reaction was that's so dumb, but now I'm like, oh, that's such a great band name. Because trying to come up with a new band name is almost impossible.
I guess, but I think maybe you're overthinking it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, House of Ballet is a new grip company slinging fresh traction pads offering. They just dropped a really good
Wait,
video.
who's behind this?
So their team is interesting. Noah Collins, Connor Lee, Cloney Ball, Letty Mortensen, Holly Wan, Lee Wilson, Nick Melanson, Tom Murat, Kobe Hughes, local homie. Inara Imad.
House of Ballet. Dude, House of Ballet is an emo name.
That is a good
That's
band name.
super
But now it's
emo,
a brand
and I know.
They've actually been putting out really dope videos for a long time. I just never have seen the traction in real life.
Can we talk about traction for a second?
Yeah, I have some.
You have some? Okay, I'm just like, traction to me is one of those things where like this is it's such a subtle thing, but makes probably one of the biggest differences in a person's surfing. Let's check this stuff out.
Smattering of traction.
Okay, let's see. What do we have?
OG Astrodeck.
Astrodeck, the original Astrodeck, which is like, you know, the Fletchers have been behind this for years. It's the template for most.
All right, this is Futures.
Futures
pad.
Okay, so we're gonna this is called traction pad review. Why is your traction better than the other's traction?
Right.
Okay, so
I mean, everything comes from Astrodeck,
right,
in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Although you have different grids, but this feels nice.
Yeah, it feels nice. Okay.
I think the right amount of hardness and softness in the traction pads is very
okay.
Octopus. So this is I would
see.
say an import. You know, these guys are
Octopus,
Chippa Wilson.
more of a smaller arch, but still the same grippiness.
Whose
This is
model is that?
Colin Moran.
Colin Moran. Oh, he's a Newport kid.
Okay.
Octopus front pad.
Octopus flat front traction.
Yeah.
It's just
So far,
whatever.
this one wins packaging, and I actually have this on my current board right there. This is Vea. This is John John's new company.
See Vea. Now, is there anything? Is there anything exciting about this? Is it like made out of like?
Well, this
some
is all
kinda
like recycled
foam.
stuff.
It's
this
nice
is
that
all
you can
recycled.
feel it, right?
The arch might be a little hard, but
See,
I do like the texture of the
I
pad.
don't feel like there's been like any kind of a big revolution in traction pads in a long time.
No.
I feel like it's ripe for revolution.
And that could be the tagline.
Ripe for revolution. Ooh, that's a good band name right there.
Ripe for revolution.
Right? But it might be like
sounds kind of like
Irie.
yes, it sounds reggae-ish.
Mm-hmm. If you guys have any band name suggestions for Chris, what kind of a band is it?
Another name, it's indie
What is
rock.
it? Okay, indie rock band.
Another name that we were throwing around was
We need band names.
Tension, Attention.
I like that.
Tension, Attention.
Tension, attention.
Right now, the two front runners are Cry is Free and Tension, Attention.
Mm-hmm.
Jack O'Neill would have been 100 years old yesterday. He died at age 94, but as we all know, Jack O'Neill was an absolute boss. He served as a Navy pilot during World War II, got a degree from the University of Portland. He went, so one of the stories that Jack has told that he was working on a DC-3 commercial airliner, and he was examining the rubber undercoating on the carpet of the DC-3. Oh no, do you need a
Do you have a thing?
charger?
Yeah,
Talk about Jack O'Neill.
I don't know as much as you do. He had an eye patch.
Yeah.
And he was from Santa Cruz, or he lived in Santa Cruz, correct?
Yeah.
And
Basically, popularized the wetsuit, put it into our world, and also, you know how he got his eye patch apparently? Testing out the first leash.
paperclip fights.
Testing out the first leash, the board had other ideas.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Jack O'Neill, legend.
I think that's awesome.
That's surf news. Sorry if you were just coming here for a good time and you had to sit through an argument. It's okay.
That wasn't an argument.
We're still friends. That was what was that called? That's called a debate. It's fine. I mean,
Fuck.
I'm right.
I don't even know what we were talking. Okay, we were just we were
We were crying is free.
crying.
Crying
God,
is free.
What the shit? You know?
Oh my God.
Stop.
People watching Todd's live are
Stop.
growing up.
Stop. Stop.
First time using a phone?
First time having to put the thing on the other side.
So for those of you just listening in the audio portion, Todd is messing with his phone, but it's looking good now.
Fuck!
No, it's not. Use the traction.
I'm gonna use the traction pad.
Oh my God.
Guys, just can we talk amongst ourselves
Show
about
sucks.
stuff? Okay, what?
I was in a bad mood when this started. Now I'm even in a
My
worse
God,
mood.
dude. It's not the audio, it's
Ugh.
it's the visual. You know?
Government, it's everything.
Fucking Christ.
The government.
It's the government.
The government's got me today.
Government's got the damn jackboot on
Oh
us.
my God.
This is the
I
dumbest.
feel so bad for people watching Todd's live right
Look,
now.
if they're watching my live, like their lives are not that good today. If they've tuned into this
On a
on
Tuesday.
a Tuesday, they literally have
Oh.
nothing to fucking do.
Why
If
don't you just put it on its...
That's sick.
Dude, what
Look
an
at
angle.
that view, dude.
Skate News is brought to you by Beneath Apparel, BN3TH Apparel, the world's best underwear.
Fucking Christ.
That's it for today's Monday M.A.S.S.
No, I got it.
On a
I got it.
Oh, duh.
Dude, boom.
It's in the boot.
We put it in a boot.
It's in the boot.
Okay, go ahead.
Curren Caples dropped a part, and it's insane.
Hey, he was on last
and he was
week
on the
talking about it.
show.
So here's the question that I have: is that Curren was alluding
I
to
got an answer for
a
you.
trick at
Okay.
the end. I'm just keep getting the viewers, the audience up
Yeah.
to speed here.
In our interview last week, our exclusive interview with Curren Caples answered our call. First ring. No worries. He was talking about his part, kind of talking about how it's 99% street, which it was. It was
Mhm.
insane.
He did do a heel flip or
He
no,
had
heel flip
two-
tail grab
I
in
think,
the bowl.
like
at,
two transition parts.
Yeah.
Or two transition tricks. The part was insane. It was kind of like, I don't even want to say the resurgence of Curren Caples. He hasn't gone anywhere, but this was just like next level Curren Caples.
Okay.
Even watch Gifted Hater's response on it. He was loving it. And Curren on the show, well, he skated to Ween, Tried and True, and then a Papa M song, our guy Papa M. But I did get some insider information.
Okay, what is it?
Curren was saying he was trying a trick. He had gone back to that spot 3 times. And as we talked to him, he was going to try the trick. He did not get that trick.
He didn't get it.
Therefore, it wasn't in the part because I had messaged him and said, did you get the trick? He said, I did not, but I told him, I go, you didn't need it. The part was insane. And
Yeah.
he could have named any one of the last 12 tricks in that part, and I would have been like, oh, yeah, okay.
Some of the most interesting stuff to me in that part, like the Wally stuff, the Wally up and over.
Yeah.
He did a Wally into like the worst landing, like pretty high
He
consequence
skates
Wally,
crust.
frontside Wally. There's like
frontside Wally.
frontside Wallies.
I love that word. I love the word Wally.
Mm-hmm.
His style is so perfect.
Yeah.
And it's not forced, which is I think a problem with some other like big name skaters. It was just street grabs, some street grabs.
Well, he did like a melon. I think did he Wally into the melon? No,
That was
just
like
did
an
it like
advanced
ollie
thing.
into like a little method tweaker off into like this shitty landing.
I mean, surf style.
It is surf style, and
Insane.
I think Curren's one of those people that you can watch skateboard, and it makes you truly appreciate the people that make it look easy, and
Yeah.
they look like they should be doing it,
Totally.
and not to take away from anything that he was doing gnarly, because it was just freaking dreamy.
Skate news is filled with good news.
Okay.
A legendary skate spot we all have heard of, we all know, but a lot of us haven't been able to skate it. Brooklyn Banks is going to reopen.
Have you ever been to Brooklyn Banks?
No.
Ever? You never been there?
No.
Wow.
Which is crazy because I've been to Brooklyn a million times. I've been to New York a million times. I just never got there. And then the last time I went, it was when it was closed up under construction. But the good news is it's coming back. Brooklyn Banks, which was built in the 70s, is getting a little bit of a facelift. Stevie Rodriguez, skateboarder and Gotham Park co-founder, has been fighting for this with a big crew, and it's happening. So Brooklyn Banks is coming back. Also,
That's-
new skate park What were you gonna say?
I
about
was just
Brooklyn
gonna. I was just gonna
Bank? Did you
say.
skate it?
I've skated it before, yeah. And the first time that I went there, it was really intimidating because we went there from Massachusetts and we
Right.
were skating in the city, and it was kind of more just like a city skate. And then the whole goal that day was to end up at Brooklyn Banks, and we got there, and there was like a session going down, and it was just I don't know, it was just such a different
Yeah.
vibe, like.
It wasn't like when somebody
People were
invited you to their
so,
backyard
and this was
ramp.
like when like shut skateboards
Right.
like started kicking, right?
Yeah.
So like
It was
shut,
definitely like a New York.
like it was that like Bruno
identity.
Musso, our buddy Bruno, one of the founders of Shut, and like all the dudes that skated for Shut then were just so cool,
Yeah.
like back in like the early '90s.
No
And
doubt.
it was intimidating to say the least.
Well, I
We
think
we you found out how behind the times in your
Yeah.
street skating you were.
when you show up and you're looking at your clothes and you're bored and you're like, oh, these
Yeah,
guys
my
are
shit's
cool.
whack.
These guys are cool. Speaking of cool, Olympic skateboarder and all around awesome, brilliant human being, Alexis Sablone.
Mm-hmm.
Has just opened or created a new skate park in Montclair, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And this skate park features colorful, skateable sculptures.
I like that description
I love that.
because skateable sculptures, like if you think like you could have, I don't know, you could have the most perfect transitions or ledges or bumps in a skate park, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like when you find one of those in the wild,
Yeah.
and it's like it's just that like it doesn't, I don't know, it's not meant for. I don't know. I just kind of
It forces creativity.
right.
Which is
I just
great.
kind of miss that. Like there's
Yeah.
a couple spots over the years that I never got to skate, but I always thought were so wild and awesome because they were skatable sculptures, like Sadlands.
Yeah. Or
Mm.
the little there's a thing in Barcelona that's just like a random
Yeah, that transition
a
thing.
little like wave lump
Yeah,
that every photo from that thing looks
over the
insane.
wave lump over the.
Where it's just like it's on the sidewalk and it's like this.
Oh
wide,
yeah.
and
I know
it's
what you're
just
talking about.
like-
Yeah.
But Alexis Sablone, she is an MIT and Barnard graduate, 7-time X Games medalist. I mean, that's got to put her in a totally different class of human. Just
Yeah,
all of those
she's
things.
she's brilliant, super good at a skateboard. But let's
And giving back.
just talk. Like, hold on, I'm just thinking about something. For a
Yeah.
second. So you figure like you've got all these different spots, and this is like these skatable sculpture skate spots, not skate parks, but skate spots.
Right.
Like spots that this is like
They
before.
were not made for skateboarding. But
Right.
are perfect for skateboarding.
You ever like wonder like what the hell were these architects thinking? Like we had a spot in Boston City Hospital that was like the most perfect transitioned bricked islands, and it was a super
Yeah.
bust, like a super bust to skate there. If you got to skate there for like a half an hour, you were like
Yeah. Like
so
why
hyped.
did they made it and immediately had to hire 4 security guards.
Right, and then there's like one of these right now. I think it's in San Bernardino somewhere. It's like same kind of thing. It's like that brick. It's almost
Yeah.
like a brick quarter pipe, a round planter
Mhm.
thing. It was that kind of a thing, and I just like, what the hell makes like a landscape architect?
It's got to be forms of nature.
It has
right?
to be.
So a landscape architect is not
Because
they
no
have
one
to
was
be
skating.
nowadays, but back then, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, because that's when all these like even like
Yeah.
Sadlands. Like Sadlands wasn't designed by a skater. It was supposed to be a moonscape.
Well, think of like a natural form of
Craters,
volcano,
yeah.
moonscape, a wave, and I think that's where they get like because in nature there's no right angles really, and so the idea of flow, I think, thankfully architects got into. More skate park news: Josh Kalis is creating an indoor TF using all granite. So when Love Park became the absolute bust that it now is, Kalis took it inside. So obviously Kalis was searching. Well, Kalis says he was searching for the same granite that was laid at Love Park. He found it, and he kept going. So we could be looking at a crazy all indoor granite TF. I don't know if we'll ever be invited to skate it, but that's pretty cool.
Probably not.
Tony Hawk is on the Todd Richards train, appreciating Tom Schaar.
Oh my god, dude!
Tom
The
Schaar's
footage that
comeback,
Tom has been putting
yeah.
out recently. I
Crazy.
said this last week. I'll say it again. It's insane.
It was so good that it prompted Tony Hawk to say vert skating needs to be in the Olympics.
He kind of was off the scene. He got hurt, and he just kind of like took a break for a little bit. But it just shows you how far ahead of the game he was.
Yeah.
You know, we start like take nothing away from Jimmy Wilkins because he's like the style god of all goats. But like you see, like you watch Tom skate, and it's like this crazy combination of like that comfortability on a piece of wood with four wheels that Jimmy has on Vert.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just like it's so effortless. Like I don't know, but yes, Vert skating, the Olympics.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And I think isn't that what Tony was really pushing Vert Alert to do, is like kind of like
I think so.
Like drum up the interest in it.
If anybody can get vert skating in the Olympics, it's Tony Hawk, backed by guys like Tom Schaar, Moto, like these Jimmy Wilkins, these really just exciting to watch skaters that are so specialized. And to me, that's what makes Olympic competition so fun, because you have these like extremely specialized sports where you give somebody a gold medal for fencing,
Yeah, but like you think about Tom though, like, or and I wonder why Jimmy doesn't do more park competitions, but like those guys could double gold.
Yeah.
In skate park if that happens.
I feel like Vert. I almost think
or Jagger's kind of
I almost think that park skating was one of the reasons why Tom Schaar kind of disappeared a little bit, and injuries and just potentially being burnt out. But the park skating thing locked a lot of people in and took them away from Vert.
Yeah.
So I think we're seeing now, with kind of like park series being over and less park competition, like the Vert, like that's helping the comeback of Vert, I think. So we'll see.
Interesting.
What else? Oh, the Phoenix AM just happened. Lazer Crawford and our girl Grace Marhoefer, Street Grace. Phoenix AM.
So I thought Grace was pro.
No.
Huh.
She's AM.
Cool.
She should be pro.
Won.
She kicked ass.
Freaking
she
won.
Grace is another one of those skaters that rips in a park. Amazing vert skater. And right here, proving Street Grace, ripping. Lazer Crawford. That was the last weekend. So Phoenix AM. It's a big deal.
Lot going on.
It's a big deal.
All right. Well, Snow News is brought to you by New Greens, because New Greens is back and it's formulated with everything that makes a salad fun.
And
to
next
drink.
week, Todd's gonna know exactly what he's talking about.
I swear to God, I'll know. But
Oh wait, we're not recording next week. In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks,
you will know
I should have time.
Fully what.
Because
maybe
it'll even be launched by then. All right.
Yeah, that's not on you.
Not on me. Anyway, Snow News is brought to you by New Greens.
Yeah.
Hey, so check it out. I just got back from Homesick event at Stratton Mountain, Vermont.
Rave reviews.
Unbelievable reviews.
Yeah.
Rave reviews, that's like putting it lightly. So rolled in there on Thursday night. Our good friend Andy Ryan picked me up at the airport.
Andy,
and drove me up there. And dude, I hadn't been to Stratton in a long time. It was wonderful. Woke up the next morning and went over to the half pipe. It was just sunny out. It was like 50 degrees on Friday. And just going through the motions at Stratton again after so long. Like this is the first time that pipe has been in that location since 1997.
Wait, that's like
it's a long ass time ago. And I'd kind of been there for other events, but not in this capacity, where it was like I was riding around the hill and it was so beautiful and so sunny, and just
you knew everybody there.
There was a lot of old heads that I came up with on the East Coast, or that were familiar faces that had stuff to do with the industry, or were just like fixtures of East Coast snowboarding. And it was just really cool to see them. And we were all like hiking the half pipe together, and it was so magical, and everywhere you turned and everyone you talked to was just like, I can't believe this is happening.
That's so rad.
And it was so awesome. It was like a high school reunion, like your yearbook come to life. Like it was just a gathering of all the who's who of snowboarding on the East Coast. Not only the younger crop of kids, but also like the older people, even the generation before me. And everyone just having a great time. And then Saturday was Friday was the downhill, which was amazing.
Did you do it?
I didn't do it because I got up there kind of late.
Oh, yeah.
And then Friday, or Saturday, the half pipe happened. Complete opposite weather day to Friday.
Right?
It was like sideways. It was east. We got the full East Coast gamut.
Bluebird and brown blurred.
It was brown. It was
blur.
brown blurred bird the next day. It was sideways snow, but it didn't stop anybody, and it was so fun. And we're up there, and it was just. It's one of those magical events that like I don't really know what you could equate it to in some of the other sports.
Maybe like a Wheels of Fortune, but
yeah,
I don't know. It just seemed like
it was just really cool, and I think that Barry Dugan and Gary Land have created something really special. I would love to see this continue. Obviously, I think that the biggest takeaway that I had from it was, yes, everyone got together and rode, and I knew this was going to happen, but everyone's like riding a smaller half pipe is so flipping fun. And
I saw you do a 540 in that.
I
thing.
did a McTwist. Right?
First try.
Right on to the flat bottom.
But first try.
Yeah, like
one and only try.
They're like in there, It's
no,
more like
it was insane.
Thanks. It was just really fun. It was awesome, and I hope that we can have more mini pipes in the world.
So
and
mini pipes 8 feet?
No, like more like 12 feet deep.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 feet. Like I would say that a mini pipe is anything like 15 feet and below.
Okay.
And then like 18 to 22 is like that's much bigger. But I've beat
What's the detour pipe? 22.
22.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's like scary.
Sizable. But this pipe, anyone could go in there and have fun.
Yeah.
Anybody could go in there and have fun and do little airs and do, fun stuff and mess around and the best part about it is like you're hiking this pipe because we didn't take the lift.
And that's when you're catching up with homies.
Yeah, it's the intimacy of it where someone's right in front of you and you're yelling at them while they're in the pipe and there's nothing, it's not like you're gripped riding a 22-foot deep super pipe and there's no way.
Yeah.
It's so big and so steep because you have to have those things on really steep slopes to have the momentum to do airs. You can't really have that intimacy.
Yeah.
So the smaller pipes you can, and it was awesome.
That's
and
cool.
My gosh, I can't wait to do it again. I miss everybody already.
I was watching your social media and surrounding social media, and it just looked like super positive, fun, and I could feel obviously your appreciation for it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like exactly what you had wished for a few months back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's true.
Like that just you manifested that.
The
you manifested it, but Gary and Dugan did it.
I feel like that that a lot of people had FOMO watching online.
Definitely.
And so maybe that will be the spark that starts people doing more of these grassroots events and with these mini half pipes and incorporating the older generations and making it more of just like a time, like a time for reflection.
And how did you do in the half pipe competition? Not that it matters.
I didn't make top 3, but I don't even know where I ended up because I didn't really play by the rules.
I thought you should have podiumed.
Thanks.
Personally,
I was more having more fun because there was all these little kids up there, and the sessions were like there was a lot of people competing in the 40 and over division, and there was a lot of people up there that wanted to ride this pipe, and I just would grab like the 5 or 6 or 7 little kids that were behind me and be like, I'm gonna drop in. You guys just drop in behind me. And we would just do these trains through the half pipe. Rad. And you were supposed to tell the starter like what bib you were so you could get judged. And I didn't care. I was just having too much fun.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was flipping cool. So in more snowboard related news, so as you know, and as everyone out there knows, it hasn't stopped snowing. It's still freaking snowing. I got news yesterday that the place that we have in Tahoe is basically we had the frame shift in the house so that the door doesn't open properly. So the snow it's so heavy that it's messing with houses on their foundations.
Right.
So it's so serious.
Is it an A-frame?
It's not an A-frame. But that brought me to like asking some of my friends in Tahoe because they can't get there's not enough people to shovel roofs.
Right.
There's not enough. People are getting up to $70 an hour to shovel right now in Tahoe and Mammoth.
Really?
So if you guys out there
right?
are looking, if you guys out there are looking to make some money, If you are sitting
am.
on your ass
I am.
and you want to go and make a quick couple grand,
Do I have to shovel?
freaking yes, you have to shovel.
Okay.
Go to Tahoe, go to Mammoth, put up a little thing at the local coffee shop, at the grocery store that says roofs shoveled.
Dude, I'll be down for that.
Dude, you could make some
How much
coin.
does a lifty make?
Not $70 an hour. I'll tell you that much.
So
That's like doctor
if
salary.
I'm like just starting out,
Shoveling?
I'm an amateur shoveler.
You're an amateur shoveler.
How do I start if there's
You
8
got to get on
feet
the
of
roof.
but if there's 8 feet of snow up there, how do I even
Well,
start?
see, that's the whole thing is you got to get on. Well, the beauty of it is that there's so much snow now you can just walk onto the roof.
Oh, right.
Right. But you know you can't, like, a big problem too is like they're shoveling these roofs and the snow is you're just shoveling it onto the deck. And now
And then you gotta clear the
now the deck collapses because there's so much weight on it.
Fire. Use fire.
So yeah, there's
Can I use a blowtorch?
yes.
Hairspray and a lighter?
Yeah, if you just show up with
I'm
a
in.
with a red plastic
Get ready,
shovel,
Tahoe.
hairspray, and a lighter.
Perfect.
$70 an hour, please.
Yeah.
And you have some other snow news. This is fantastic, and I think this is
a
worthy of
mix
talking about.
Snow and celebrity news. Gwyneth Paltrow recently got into a skiing accident with a guy, and
But let's preface this.
this
This
is
happened
insane.
at Deer Valley, so who gives a shit?
Oh, I have other Deer Valley news.
Okay,
too
cool.
That you're gonna love.
Oh, I love this other Deer Valley news too.
Gwyneth Paltrow, apparently, a guy hit her from behind.
I thought
somehow.
she hit him.
Something they crashed, which happens.
Right.
And it doesn't sound like either one of them was drunk or, being obnoxious. It's just a ski crash and it happens. But what happened afterwards, when she was on the ground and the guy was laying on her grunting or something, and who knows, Gwyneth Paltrow is an actress. So when she tells this story and there's witnesses that happen to be her ski instructor,
Mm-hmm.
but if the dude crashes into her and then like I don't advocate for that. I don't think it's good. But and I don't follow the law.
So what is he saying, that she crashed into him
suing
and
her.
she was all like, goop, and then fucking
No,
bounced?
so he's suing her
Mhm.
for $240,000 for the accident, which he says left him with lasting injuries.
That's a very specific number.
Yeah. And
240 grand, like, isn't
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow she just made that right there.
And so he basically is saying that if you crash into somebody, you need to exchange information. It's Gwyneth Paltrow.
It's like getting an offender bender.
This dude will take care of it. I'm going down to my kids. And I'm not siding with either one. All I know is that Gwyneth Paltrow has got into a ski crash. And
Yeah.
Iron Man wasn't there to save her this time.
What is this?
Oh!
Warning, there is an exchange between Mrs. Paltrow and the lawyer in court at the moment she thought she was being sexually assaulted.
Oh.
What is that?
That's a video of her saying that he was like grinding on her and laying on top of her after the crash.
Wait, what?
Like an opportunistic dry hump.
The guy,
Like they crashed, the guy had a little opportunistic dry hump with a grunt.
that is a really good name for a band.
Opportunistic dry hump?
Yes.
Maybe an album.
Ooh, that is a good name for an album. Opportunistic dry hump.
Anyways, I mean it's getting messy. It's in a court. Gwyneth Paltrow is getting pulled to court. Yeah, so you said this is at Deer Valley,
Yeah.
and I take it you don't like Deer Valley. Well, I got another resort for you not to like.
Oh, I know about
It's
this
a brand
story.
new Utah resort called Mayflower.
Well, it's not brand. Well, it's
It's
it's new.
rebranded.
Yeah, they're rebranding this thing.
Your boy, Todd Bennett, said snowboarding would be banned here.
Why is he
if-
my boy? Oh, he's
I
the
don't
he's
know.
the CEO, the operator, the
Deer Valley
operation manager.
Yeah, if Deer Valley operates the area, Todd says snowboarding would be banned.
So here's the deal with this Mayflower resort. It's, as I understand it, I
Okay.
don't have all the information, but what I
It's
do,
named after a boat.
what I do kind of understand is this: there was a lot of VA dollars in this resort.
VA.
Yeah, the Veterans Association.
Okay.
So like there's a lot of people that are doing like rehabilitation there. Like
Okay.
it's like a means of getting over PTSD and
That's
a lot
good
of
stuff.
yeah, a lot of a lot of vets and their families. Like there was something that had to do with like a veterans group funding this mountain.
Okay.
And there's a lot of a lot of people there already snowboard, right?
Right.
Like there's families and things that have all like, you know, this is their place. This is where they go to take part in these programs. And yeah, this guy came out last week and was like, yeah, if Deer Valley, if we take over this resort and we put the lift into over there, then there's no snowboarding.
Oh my God.
The guy is such a dick. We're talking about Deer
Out
Valley,
cold,
like
out
after.
cold is coming true.
I know.
It's totally happening.
One of the
I knew Out Cold was a documentary.
one of the
I knew it.
shitty thing. I mean, look, Deer Valley is, it's fucking Deer Valley, and they're always, you know, been them and Alta, and I think Mad River Glen, and I think that might be it. I don't think there's any other ski areas in the U.S. that don't allow snowboarding. Like I get it. In the beginning, when this whole snowboarding thing started, snowboarders were freaking out of control. Look, I've ridden old school boards recently. Like, yeah, I get
It's
it.
not
Like
hard.
they're not.
It's not easy
There's
to
no control there. But we have come to a point now in time where it's just like, look, you're basically just strictly from a financial standpoint, you're leaving dollars on the table. Like, do you really think that Deer Valley is pulling in that much skier income, or Alta is pulling in that much skier income
Well, look
that they
who's-
can justify saying, no, we're going to be better off without snowboards?
Look who's snowboarding. Justin Timberlake, you know?
It's just they're both
Famous
they're both the
celebrity.
same thing at this point, and it's.
I didn't know that there was a place that existed that did not allow
there's
snowboarding.
three main ones, and remember when Sage Kotzenberg won the gold medal in slopestyle in 2014?
Uh-huh.
So Sage like Deer Valley's right outside of Park City, right? You
Right.
go through Park City to get to Deer Valley. Sage grew up in Park City. Deer Valley had the audacity to put the remember how he used to say "spoice"? Like that was like his catchphrase for like that Olympics. Like Sage was always saying it's spicy or whatever. It was this funny,
spicy, but
yeah,
what,
yeah. So they had a cocktail at the Deer Valley, the bar at the ski resort called the Sage Kotzenberg Spoice. So they're like trying to sell a cocktail of the snowboard. They're like glomming onto like the snowboard gold medalist at their ski area. Fuck that shit, dude.
Yeah.
It's just lame. Like I wouldn't want to have a ski area that an area that banned snowboarders
Stupid.
or banned skiers, I should say. You know what I mean? Like why? Like why?
We're homies now. Like all that's over.
It's just dumb.
Skiers and snowboarders are friends. Did you not watch the last Do Tour?
I know. People get
Cash for Tricks.
I mean, it's like, look, we had a ski racer that went and won. We had a snowboard racer that went and won the downhill gold medal. I mean,
Bodie Miller's
look,
our homie. Bodie just got in the
we're
Hall of
winning your
Fame.
gold
We're
medals.
celebrating.
Like, come on,
Come on,
just
Deer Valley.
let it go.
Suck it.
Ah.
Oh, last final piece. Somewhere that's snowboarder friendly, Mountain High. They're having their world famous Mountain High pond skim
Yes.
this weekend.
Are you gonna go?
I can't go.
You're gonna be in Nicaragua.
I got a show at
Oh,
Soma
that's right,
April
that's right.
1st.
And you're.
going to my show.
I'm gonna come to your show.
You don't have to. That's happening in Mountain High this weekend. Nerd News brought to you by New Green. Oh, New Green's brought to you Snow.
It's
So let's say
Bachan's
Bachan's
Japanese
at
barbecue
Tri-Bach.
sauce.
Yesterday, which was Monday, which is the original day we were going to record Monday M.A.S.S, was also the day that Slint, Spiderland,
You want me to
Slint,
grab it?
one of the greatest albums ever made, was released 30 years ago. So we want to say happy birthday to one of the best albums ever made. An album that literally changed music, that changed everything.
And why don't you tell everyone who was part of this band and why they're so important?
Well, you know, this guy right here, David Pajo. So he is Papa M. He just released, his song was just used in Curren Caples' video.
Okay, who else?
Papa
Who
M.
else?
Right here, you've got the drummer right here, who's still very in the scene. I think he was in the Breeders as well. His drum beats are absolutely incredible. Singer, who is part of a band called For Carnation, a band called Big Bang. His vocals, like, you know, these four guys came together in Kentucky in the early 90s, and they made two records. One of them produced by Steve Albini, and these are records that literally changed music. Without Slint, most bands from most indie rock from
Wasn't that like
mid-90s
I always
on
equate
doesn't exist.
Slint with kind of putting Steve Albini on the map.
One of the reasons, yeah.
You know?
Well, one of their opening songs was Steve, these headphones are fucked up.
Mhm.
They're only coming out of one side, and it was kind of like weird. There's a lot of weirdness around Slint,
Mhm.
but also kind of like Joy Division in the idea of just 15 or 20 songs total.
And
That
also
were so influential.
just like Joy Division, they are I kind of feel like Slint has been like co-opted by people who just like to wear their shit
Yeah,
and talk about them.
I think so. I think you wear because I have a Slint sweatshirt that I wear all the time, and I feel extra snobby in it.
Mhm.
Like, ask me who this is.
But like Slint hasn't gone all the way to be like a Brandy Melville t-shirt where Joy Division has.
Right.
It's on its way though.
Yeah, like Slint would be. I feel like people that buy Slint stuff can name 3 songs,
Mhm.
whereas a lot of people that buy Joy Division stuff probably couldn't.
Right.
Not to be controversial.
Chris, speaking of controversial,
More controversy.
your next take is
Oh.
very controversial to me.
Dude,
Okay,
I'm just gonna. I'm
can
going
I
neg.
can I say it?
I'm going negative.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Chris went to see John Wick 4 this weekend and walked out.
Yeah, I did. I'm over it.
How did you walk out of John Wick?
Dude, it's stupid.
It's supposed to be stupid.
I know, but it's John Wick 1 caught me by surprise. I think it caught most people by surprise. It was insane. John Wick 2, same thing. Action packed. Plot was cool. John Wick 4. So first of all, it was weird anyway. I went in the afternoon. It was a Saturday afternoon. It was blazing hot sun. Bought the tickets thinking it was going to be raining, so I was already kind of like over it.
Sound like you're eggy on this one.
I'm
You were eggy going in.
Eggy going in. The theater that I went to out here was a Cinepolis, was a dump. And I'm not being snobby. It was a dump. It was like not well kept. The popcorn was cold. Off-brand.
Who'd you go with?
M&Ms.
Who'd you go with?
I went with my wife, and we both were. So we ordered popcorn, diet, a soda, and M&Ms.
$70.
It was $70 at least. Off-brand M&Ms.
Hey, do you know how
M&Ms are not red, white, and blue. Off-brand M&Ms.
Smarties?
Dude, like, not M&Ms. Let's just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know the brand name. They were off-brand. The popcorn came in a silver bowl, which is cool. It's great for the environment. It's cold. It's just 2 guys over. The guy's coughing. The guy next to me is checking his phone. He's chewing. And I'm just like, I'm done. I can be on my couch, and it's $20
Do you feel like
to
you
buy a movie.
Do you feel like you would have walked out of John Wick on your couch?
John Wick is an airplane movie, and that's it.
Okay.
John Wick
Fair.
4 is
Yes.
for the airplane.
100% guaranteed. Like, but
Hour-
that means it's like bubblegum movie.
An hour into the movie, there's been 15 fight scenes.
Yes.
And they're all very similar, and they're never ending. An hour into the movie, I go to the bathroom. I look at my phone. I'm like, how much longer is this movie? It's an hour and 24 minutes longer. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes. Okay? You're not sitting in a theater for 2 hours and 24 minutes. Maybe Avengers.
Well,
Maybe.
Look, I get it.
I'm done.
You're
I'm
done.
going to La Paloma Theater
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
I'll go into shows. I'll go to a play, but I'm not going to the movies anymore.
Do you like the
I
fast?
came home. And
Do you like the
watched-
Fast and the Furious movies?
Yeah.
You
On a
do?
plane,
Okay, on a plane.
but I'm not seeing it in theater. But check it out.
I think the theater experience, like we were before the pandemic,
Theater experience.
the theater experience
Sucks.
before the pandemic.
When Cinepolis first started, it was awesome.
It's
When
Cinepolis.
Cinepolis first started, it was awesome. They tried.
Yeah, it was going in a new direction.
Sucks. Now.
Like, but I feel like after the pandemic, nobody freaking cares about the movies. No one really and it's a bummer.
What do you think of Negative Chris?
Negative Chris.
You like him,
I
huh?
like Negative Chris.
I'm
I-
done with
I feel-
movies.
I feel like
in
we
the
could hang.
theater, except for La Paloma.
Are you done? You're truly done with movies in the theater?
Yeah.
Would you Would you ever? You think you'd ever go to an old school movie theater that didn't have?
I go to La Paloma.
That's
Love
old
La
school.
Paloma. I love La Paloma Theater.
I went to go see a movie last week. I went to go see that 65 with okay.
Yeah, and what was your review?
It
of
was
the theater experience.
It was cheesy.
Shitty.
It was shitty.
How was
but
the popcorn?
I didn't have popcorn.
Well, you would know
I had a
if
cocktail.
you had it. How was the cocktail?
It was good.
You brought it in
No,
your pocket?
no, I didn't. I got one. It only cost me $700. At any rate, I feel like
John Wick 4 might be great on a plane,
Okay.
not in a theater.
All right.
It's 2 hours and 24 minutes, and it's one of those movies where my wife had not seen any of the John Wicks.
Well,
And
why would you
judging
take her to part 4 if she's
Judging
never
by
seen?
the reviews, they said it's going to be great. It's action-packed. It's fun, and it sucked. And I love Keanu Reeves.
Look, what
now.
did she think you were taking her like The Notebook too?
No,
She knew.
she knew.
Did she have an equally terrible experience?
Yes.
Okay.
I was the one
Did
that
she
looked
make
over
you-
at her and said, "We need to leave."
Really?
This is super
You said
awkward."
that.
And she's like, "Yes." And
I've-
got up and we left.
I've never actually. I've only left one movie, and it was because my parents took me to see Stripes when I was like,
and the boobs came on.
and the boobs came. That was the only time I've ever left a movie. I will sit through garbage
I
till
walked
the
out of
very end.
Independence Day.
You did?
Yeah.
You
I
walked
would-
out of
because-
Independence Day.
Well, that was my fault. I built it up in my mind like it was going to be the next Apocalypse Now, and it was corny.
Independence Day?
Yeah, that was my fault. But I will be walking out of movies. I will be sending food back to the kitchen from now on.
Wow.
I'm over it.
I like this new Chris. Let's talk
Um,
about the WSL.
I like the WS. But what? So here's what we did.
Okay.
Cleanse our palates.
Okay, let's cleanse it up.
So we get home, and I'm like, my wife said, we need to do something to try to fix this.
What did you do?
So we put on the movie Tar. With
What's
Kate
that?
Blanchett.
What is it?
Oh, Todd. Tar's great.
What is it about?
It's basically a different viewpoint of the Me Too movement through a female protagonist. Incredible acting. Great script, Todd. Oh, great script.
Are there dragons?
There are dragons in a certain sense. There are predators in this movie. But anyway, we loved Tar, and we felt better. Like, because we went on this basic date. It was like sushi and then a John Wick 4. And we're like, who are we? Are we these people? We're these people.
Yeah.
Not judging any people to do those people things, but that's not us. We're Tar people at home in sweatpants.
Okay.
All your stuff's there. The bathroom. You know, you can hit pause.
Mm.
What if everybody in the theater got a pause button and they
That'd
use
be
one?
That'd be actually
And
incredible.
You can use one pause.
You get one pause during a movie at a theater.
Everybody gets one.
I would abuse it.
That's great.
I
You
would-
only get one.
I would pause on the boobs.
At Stripes with your parents. Secession
Okay.
is back. It's awesome.
Secession's back. Also is back is Yellow Jackets season 2.
Never seen it.
It's really good, Chris. Season 1 is great. Season 2 is starting off with a bang. Once again, Mandalorian is boring as fuck this season, and I am annoyed.
You're really up and down with that.
I am
Let's
up
get to
and
some
down.
questions.
Okay, let's get to the questions. The questions are brought
I'm
to
getting negative.
us by Pancake Coffee and Tea. Go ahead.
NW Shreducator says, "Hey fellas, Chris, if you could spend 3 days at any surf break in the world with perfect conditions, which would it be? Todd, what's the craziest best off snow thing you saw at Homesick?
Mm.
Thanks for knocking out a speedy, concise ad block last week. Best in a long time." Well, you're gonna hate this week's ad block
Mm-hmm.
if you are still here. If I could spend 3 days at any surf break in the world with perfect conditions, I'm gonna say restaurants on Tavarua, and ironically enough, that's where my brother is right now. Must be nice. Todd, what's the best off snow thing you saw at Homesick?
Best off snow thing I saw at Homesick was at the Burton store. There was just kind of a gathering of people looking at photos. Actually, the
Like an art gallery?
there's kind of like two things. There was a bunch of photos that were
nice things Todd saw last week.
there was a bunch of photos on display from some iconic legendary photographers, and at that little gathering there was a whole bunch of people that I hadn't seen for a long time. And then there was also this vintage board museum. This guy came up from New Jersey and displayed a whole gamut of snowboards,
That's
from
cool.
old Sims boards to, you know,
I saw your old board there.
my old board was there, and it was just really cool. Like that stuff was awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
This is from DJ DC Jones. What up? Monday M.A.S.S question. What was your best spring break experience, and what about the worst? I'm gonna go the best and worst because it's just right on top of my head. I went to spring break with my older brother, his buddy, and my mom, and it was right when I first started drinking.
Where? Are you talking to Mexico?
Cabo.
You went to Cabo.
Straight up into the belly of the beast. Had so much fun. Freaked my mom out. She's like, you have a problem. And I just literally had only been drinking for a month and a half.
How old were you? You were 18?
21.
You were 21.
Yeah. And I threw up all over the floor of my mom's hotel room. It was so great and so awful. And I was like, oh, dude, spring break forever. And then I think the last time I ever like did a normal spring break.
Really? I hated spring break. Because when I was living in Breckenridge, everyone would come for spring break and just make life in Breckenridge shitty. I don't really have a spring break.
Hey, I'm recording the podcast.
Who's he talking to? Oh, it's his son. His son's calling in with some spring break news. Someday.
You have to go to surf. You promised you're going 2 times this week. The waves are super nice. The water's nice. You have to go to surf.
Do you guys know any other podcasts where we just, they just take calls?
Go surf. You have to. I gotta go. You have to. I gotta go.
What was that all about?
He's trying to ditch school.
He's trying to ditch school?
Yeah.
Surf school? These kids have it so easy. Here's a question that I'm going to take a question right now from our live. Doesn't Homesick make you realize what a legacy Burton threw away when they ditched the U.S. Open? This is from Malpractice Makes Perfect. Yep. I think that I think Burton may have misstepped by taking the Burton U.S. Open out of Stratton Mountain, Vermont. Here I'll say this, is that it may have had to do with the powers that be at Stratton. I'm not 100% sure it was totally Burton, but it would have been nice if they could have kept a big open event on the East Coast, whether it be Killington or perhaps Loon, or just keep it in the backyard. Because since the U.S. Open moved to Vail and subsequently died and turned into like the Mystery Series, which is like it's a mystery what the hell the series is, it's a bummer. It's a real bummer, and that's why Homesick was so amazing this weekend. And that was another one of the common things that people were talking about, was how it filled a void that was gone. And yes, that is my tight and concise answer to that one. What other questions do we have?
Kaiju Hattori Vanta says a great indie rock band name, Frontside Wally.
Frontside Wally.
Frontside Wally.
What about just Frontside Indie?
Frontside Indie.
Frontside Indie would be a good band name.
Yeah. What else we got here? Bored Yak says, if someone threw a grenade into Homesick, who would be the first to jump on it and save all of snowboarding?
Whoa, that is a
Damn,
crazy question
that's
from Bored
wild.
Yak. Who would be the person to jump on the grenade and save snowboarding?
Probably Gary Land, right?
Yeah,
I
Gary
mean,
Land, Gary and Barry jumped on the Gary and Barry jumped on the proverbial grenade and saved snowboarding.
Gary jumped on that grenade.
Yeah.
We got a question from Hana Lee.
Mm.
What keeps some athletes like Red Gerard, Mark McMorris, and Kelly Slater competing while others talk about being burned out and go the free ride, free surf route?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think just that competitive fire, and I know that sounds corny and cliche, but for people like Red, Kelly, Mark, I mean, they put everything they have
They're
into
also
competition,
winning.
And they're winning.
Winning
helps.
Winning is the thing that keeps you in it.
Yeah.
It's the taste of standing on top of the box.
Just the taste.
Mm-hmm.
Just the taste.
Just the tip.
It's a little bit of a taste.
What else?
do we got here? A couple more questions before we leave. We send you back to your homes.
Send you packing.
Adam at Art.
Yes.
Todd.
Hi.
At the moment.
Mm.
At what moment in the weekend did you forget it was 2023 and your hot tub time machine back into the 90s?
Okay. There's
Homesick?
another Homesick question. It was during the session on Friday when it was sunny out and everyone was hiking the pipe. And I remember I came down to the bottom of the half pipe and I was talking to, I think it was Trisha Burns and Cairo Foster and
Kyra Foster?
yeah, Cairo's
Tight.
Cairo's married to Trisha. Do you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're down the bottom just shooting the shit, and John Cavan was down there and Pat Bridges, and I turned around and looked back up over my shoulder, and it was that view of looking up the barrel of the half pipe with like the leaveless, sticky, like just sticky East Coast trees, leaveless trees, like you know what I mean, like
Leaveless,
wintertime. There's just trees on the East Coast have a very particular
There's
look.
no leaves.
There's no leaves. They're just like
Right.
whatever, birch trees and whatnot. And it was just like that view with the mound in the middle where the starting gate would typically be, and it looked the same. And that was my like holy shit hot tub time machine moment of the weekend. It just like I had like a sense. It triggered like a sense memory in me, and it was really cool and very nostalgic feeling.
I like that. Professor Pirazzini's got a great question. We are traveling to Italy, Croatia, and Hossiger, and my sons want to bring their skateboards. See that you both travel with them as well. How does it work? Can they carry on, or does it count as an item? You don't want to check in a skateboard raw because somebody between the
They'll
when you
take
check
it.
in and when it lands,
Yeah.
they're taking it.
I've had
probably.
that in
Or they get stuck in the belts.
Charles de Gaulle. Well, yeah, you can't. Okay, but also put it in the bag. Find a bag that can accommodate a skateboard. I've
Yeah.
had to give up my skateboard at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris.
Yeah, some airlines
Trying to carry it
will
on.
not let you carry it on.
And they tell you to go back and check it at the counter, but it's taking you an hour and a half
Yeah.
to get where you are. So you're just like, fuck it. You just leave it behind in the bathroom.
I would say that if you're going to all of these places, best to find a bag that it goes in, and if you need to, you can take them apart if it's a space thing. But yeah, I mean you can
Just put it in the bag.
carry on most places, but when you're going to foreign countries, put it in a bag.
Put it in a
Have
bag.
a bag you can use. If you
Put it
want.
in a bag, and then if you're worried about the board getting all over your clothes or whatever, like the grip tape or the the grease from the bearings or the wheels or whatever, just wrap it in a towel.
Bearings. Old Nerdy Bastard says, would you rather have an RS6 and never get to snowboard, or never have an RS6 and ride until you're 90?
Damn it, that's a really hard question.
What about a Honda Odyssey?
I think I just ride till I was 90.
Yeah.
I can deal. It's almost
can
like the
deal.
fantasy is just part of it.
All right.
All right, you guys,
That's it.
we are done.
Come on. It's over.
It's been a really fun ride today. Chris got really mad. He was really angry.
We're fine. I'm fine now.
He's okay.
I'm still angry about other things, though.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys next. We won't see you next
Won't
week.
see you at
Chris
the
is going to
theater
be in
either.
Nicaragua. Chris is never going to go to another
Won't
Keanu
see
Reeves
you.
movie. He hates Keanu Reeves.
I
You
love
heard it
Keanu
here
Reeves.
first.
I like Kate Blanchett better, though.
Look out for us, just in general. Bye-bye. Bye, y'all.